Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. Hopefully you had a great weekend, and a quick thank you to my newest patrons, Joseph and Sunny. Greatly appreciate the support. First up, have to give a shout out to the origination of my thumbnail today from CyberMike on Twitter. Took this photo. It is gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, and I want to use it for us to take a moment to zoom out and really embrace this season of Tesla. So over the next year or so, there are some things that are going to happen at Tesla that will fundamentally change how a lot of people view Tesla. A lot of us in the community know it well, but there are still plenty of people that think Teslas use gas, that think they catch on fire all the time, that think it's just a little niche market or just for, people that have a ton of money. And while some of those statements are true to a certain degree, let's really enjoy this season of Tesla because we're still in the early adopter phase, but over the next 12 to 24 months, some of these things are going to change. Tesla is going to explode, not necessarily the stock price, but the company as a whole. Number one, the likelihood of bankruptcy for Tesla is basically near zero. The Model 3 was crucial for Tesla and they made it through production hell. Now that is an established vehicle, so we don't really have to worry about Tesla going bankrupt or anything like that, barring a black swan cataclysmic type event. Two, let's really think about what's happening here. Tesla is going to essentially double their factory output, going from just Fremont and Shanghai to adding Berlin and Austin to the equation. Not only that, but these new factories are going to be better, bigger, and more efficient. This has, as you know, drastic implications. The export waves are going to be eased, which means less transportation cost and better margins. Not only that, but as mentioned, each new factory is going to have better efficiencies, and the Model Y sales, simply put, are going to blow our minds. I think even for us in the Tesla community, the demand for this vehicle is going to be crazy. I do think it'll cannibalize Model 3 to some degree, but to be honest, it's not going to matter much. So watching this Model Y throughout next year is going to be so much fun as it ramps at Berlin and Austin, and the world starts to see Tesla on a grand scale that it has not yet seen before. The third thing I really want us to take in and enjoy before it comes totally mainstream, Elon feels great about FSD right now. Yes, it's still in the beta program, but within the next 1 to 2 years, there's a good chance Tesla actually delivers the city street feature. I'm not talking robo-taxis or full autonomy. I'm talking the city street feature where they can actually recognize near 100% of the FSD revenue. And this one in particular is a ton of fun because this is where I'd go on a limb and say 90% of the population still has no clue the revolution that's taking place here and how far ahead Tesla really is. A lot of people still think, Waymo and even Cruise, some of these other autonomous systems are ahead of Tesla. And a lot of it is because people still use level 2, level 3. I personally think that's all a joke. If you look at what's going on, Tesla is playing a whole different ballgame than these other companies, and it's really laughable that people think anyone else is close to what Tesla is doing in terms of autonomy. So this aspect of Tesla is yet to really fully break out. Yes, it seems like a lot of people are talking about it, but it's because we are the Tesla community. Most people are still clueless. So enjoy this season of learning and growing, the ups and downs, the good, the bad, because eventually, later this decade, it's going to become mainstream, and this is just something that we should enjoy watching unfold. The fourth thing I want you guys to take in, we're still basically in the basement, the bottom of what Tesla Solar and Tesla Energy really is going to be. Essentially, we can only go up from here. So hopefully the current administration can get some things done to provide some extra financial incentives for the solar and energy industry. And hopefully Tesla can get some traction with new home builds. But let's remember, this is a part of Tesla that Elon is still saying that is going to eventually rival the auto business. It's very far behind in terms of overall revenue at this point, but if Elon is right about this sometime later this decade, Tesla Energy is going to absolutely change the financials of Tesla. And so we're really just getting warmed up here as well. And of course, we have the new Megapack factory, which is bullish for the battery production capacity at this point. And one last thing to enjoy before it completely explodes and becomes mainstream, the 4680 production. Elon has said potentially next year in 2022, they're going to reach some level of volume production of these new world-leading lithium-ion 4680 cells, which probably will be the most advanced in the world, at least that are being produced at scale. So this will give Tesla optionality. They can choose to have more range on their vehicles, or they can choose to keep the range the same, but to produce higher volume. They'll need less cells to have the same range, meaning they can produce and sell more cars. So I just wanted to take a few minutes and zoom out and slow down and encourage you to just really enjoy this moment in Tesla's history before things really explode. I do really think 2022 is going to be really a crazy and enjoyable year. I'm not even talking about Tesla stock, as I said, just the company Tesla itself. So I hope you enjoy it, and you better believe I'll be here continuing to cover the ride. And a quick thank you to the sponsor of today's episode, Charity Stars. They are giving away the chance to win a Model Y Performance and $10,000, and the taxes and shipping will be included for any United States winner. But no worries, this is a global sweepstakes. You can enter from anywhere in the world. So here's your chance to launch your family and friends 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds with 303 miles of range, the 15-inch touchscreen with in-car internet and video streaming. And yes, the winner will get to choose the interior and exterior options, so head to charitystars.com/electrified for your chance to win. Charity Stars is a fundraising platform for charitable causes, and in this case, it's the Jamie Kimball Foundation for Courage, which funds initiatives to prevent intimate partner violence. The story of Jamie Kimball is actually tragic. She was shot and killed at age 31 by an abusive ex-boyfriend, and with the Gabby Petito news gaining national attention as of late, this is a great charity to support. So once again, to enter the sweepstakes, head to charitystars.com/electrified and use coupon code electrified to get 100 free entries with your purchase. Good luck. But moving on, quick question for you guys. Would you like me to cover more electrification topics? This is always going to be a Tesla focused channel, but I can always spend, 1 to 3 minutes per video talking about some other things going on when I think it's relevant. Just say yes or no below if you want more of that type of content. Specifically, I've had some of you reach out to me about Lilium and their electric aircrafts. Just curious where you guys stand on this, so let me know. So next up, we get some actually sad news. So Gruber Motors, which is a company that basically restores and works on original Tesla Roadsters. Now, their business caught on fire in 2017, and it was actually due to a battery pack. They were working on it and something happened, and they lost some vehicles in that. Now, fast forward to today, and unfortunately Saturday, they had a pretty devastating fire at their main facility where they lost, I think, between 25 and 30 original Tesla Roadsters. So as you can imagine, this would be pretty rough for all of those people that had their Roadster at the shop and it's now gone. For some context, there are roughly believed to be around 1,500 Roadsters left on the road. So losing, we'll say 30 of them is about a 2% loss. Some people are saying this will boost the value of the remaining Roadsters. I don't know how true that'll be, but honestly, my condolences to anybody that lost their Roadster in this. It's very disappointing, but really you have to ask yourself, how do they let this happen? I mean, don't you have cameras and alarm systems and things in place after you had a fire in 2017? You would think that given the nature of having all of this lithium ion in one building, that you have more fail safes in place. So Gruber Motors, hopefully you can figure this out and avoid anything like this happening again. So let's shift gears real quick. I want to talk about Tesla stock. As you can see, we're up 3% on the day. We've eclipsed $870 per share, quickly approaching previous all-time highs around $900 per share. But what I really want to talk about, one, over on Patreon, I finally know what I want to do. I genuinely miss talking about investing, the financial markets, both the traditional stock market and crypto. That's really where I've started my career and honestly where I spend most of my free time studying and researching. And I do want to do that on Patreon as a way to say thank you to my patrons and also to help insulate Ashley and I from the ups and downs of YouTube revenue. And I did just upload a video about my overall investment strategy, so that's over there at any support level. So Tesla year to date is up almost 23%. Now the markets in general are up between 15 and 20% depending on the index you're looking at. So only a little bit of alpha for Tesla relative to the market. And there are really only two things I want to highlight here quickly. One, we are clearly testing the previous all-time highs. So we're basically in the neighborhood, and it's anybody's guess if we're going to get rejected at that 900 level or if we're going to rally right through it. Me personally, I try not to be too deterministic either way, but all things considered, I think even if you look past the earnings that we're going to get on Wednesday, yes, typically even if there's a big beat, there's a slight Tesla sell-off right after. So what I want to highlight here is the compression right now toward the moving averages. We have the 8 period, the 21 period, and the 50 period simple moving averages. Now, as you can see in this last run, we had the Tesla stock price holding above the 8 period moving average. On this chart, these are weekly candles. As mentioned, we like to look at the macro trends here. And at the top of the peak, it then failed to hold the 8-week. It broke below that, below the 21, and ultimately finally found resistance later at the 50-week moving average and has held that and is now back up above the 8-week. But like I said, focus on the compression and extension. So in this last rally, we got extended away from the 50-period moving average pretty significantly, whereas now this rally has been much more methodical and slow, meaning that there is a much stronger base than we had last time, which would lead me to believe there is a higher likelihood that we do continue up toward previous all-time highs and then ultimately break through in the next few months. So I just wanted to get across that things look pretty bullish in the near term, for the next few weeks, and ultimately reaching that 900 threshold within the next few weeks. Next up, Analytic ETH on Twitter shared a video of the new auto park in .36 that is now using the vision system and cameras as well as the ultrasonic sensors. Definitely mixed reviews from what I've seen in terms of people being able to have that little P come up to do the auto park. Some users have it and it's working well, others don't. If you've had any experiences with this, please let us know below. Sawyer asked Elon when Party Rock at Giga Texas. Elon said as soon as major construction is done, so maybe in a few months. This is an event that I would hope to try to attend, so if any of you guys would try to attend the event, let me know below. Maybe we can link up on Twitter and try to meet at the event if everything goes well. Next up, Slashdot on Twitter is talking about 5G lobbyists saying it'll be a long time before autonomous vehicles reach city. Elon said, autonomy must work and will work even with no connectivity. This, of course, very important. And next up, we have Toyota set to invest $3.4 billion on United States automotive batteries through this decade. They're looking to establish a new company and build a new U.S. automotive battery plant together with the automaker's metals trading arm and a unit of the Toyota Group. Looking to start production in 2025 and expected to create 1,750 new U.S. jobs. But scroll down and then you have the buzzkill, which makes me believe Toyota is still stuck with their head in the sand, initially focusing on producing batteries for hybrid vehicles. Essentially, the only great thing that Toyota has done, at least publicly so far for the EV revolution, is Toyota has mounted a lobbying campaign to try to convince US lawmakers not to include an additional $4,500 tax incentive for union-made EVs. And last thing for today, Official XPod on YouTube uploaded this video about Tesla 4680 manufacturing, did kind of a PowerPoint type presentation. I think some of you that are into that deep dive stuff would enjoy this episode, so I've linked it below for your viewing pleasure. But that is all for today. Please take a second to like the video if you did. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Can't wait to chat with you guys and upload more investing content and other Tesla stuff over on Patreon.